Next on 9 News, Denver police shares new information about the shooting in Lodo on Sunday. They're still not saying officers hit victims. Now we're hearing from 2 victims struck by gunfire.
It's been 10 years since the mass shooting at a movie theater in Aurora. A decade later, loved ones gathered again to remember the lives lost.
And new calls for the school police chief in Uvalde, Texas to resign. 4 o'clock at 9 News starts now.
Denver police now say 6 bystanders got hurt after officers fired their guns in Lodo early Sunday morning. Another victim came forward yesterday.
DPD says a suspect pulling a handgun led officers to shoot. And today they released some body camera images, but they did not release the full video. 9 News reporter Cole Sullivan asked why not. He's joining us now. And Cole, what's the answer?
Police say they're trying to protect their investigation while also proving the suspect had a gun. They say he never fired it. The major crimes commander says officers fired 7 bullets, but says he does not know how many hit the suspect. Police released this body camera image of 21-year-old suspect Jordan Waddy. They say officers believed he had a gun in the front pocket of his hoodie where his hand is. 2 seconds after this image, Commander Matt Clark says Waddy pulled the gun out and across his body. That's when Clark says officers saw the muzzle of Waddy's gun in this image and opened fire. 2 fired from this direction. Police say no one was behind the suspect from this direction, but a third image, this one, is from a third officer's body camera. Police say he took care to aim at the suspect and not the people you can see behind the suspect. But Commander Clark calls the injuries to bystanders from this incident concerning.
And it justifies, it demands a review by the department from a tactics standpoint, from a policy standpoint, and I think that will absolutely occur. Did something go wrong? Yeah, 6 people additionally that shouldn't have been injured got injured that night.
He says all 6 people who were injured have left the hospital. The suspect is still there. DPD is set to meet with the DA's office about this case on Thursday.
And so any news about when they might release all of that video?
They say that might come after this meeting Thursday afternoon. They want the DA to review it before they move forward with it.
Okay. Well, we certainly have heard from a lot of people that saw various things happening that night. So thank you, Cole.
Well, you heard it there. Police admit something went wrong, but they still have not admitted people actually got hit by bullets. They claim it could be shrapnel. This morning, we caught up with 2 bystanders, injured bystanders. They tell us they were shot and still have bullet fragments in their bodies, and we have images of their wounds. A warning here, this story contains those images and descriptions of getting shot. This may be hard to look at and hear, but we think that they're important to share as we work to get a better understanding of what happened. It was supposed to be a night of fun at 20th and Larimer.
Met up with some friends, then it went sideways really quickly.
Whoa! Police fired their guns 7 times at an armed suspect as crowds left the bars. Their gunfire hitting 24-year-old Bailey Alexander.
It had gone through just above my armpit and exited in the back of my right arm.
And 26-year-old Yakala Wilda Hewitt.
It entered behind my bicep and broke my bicep bone. My humerus bone.
So your bone is essentially shattered.
Shattered, yeah.
The police bullet remains lodged in his arm.
I couldn't really control my arm. It felt like a noodle. And we were just running.
The 2 of them tell me they didn't learn they were hit by police bullets until they saw the news reports.
I just had so many questions as to why they would shoot into a crowd that big.
The fact that the bullet did not hit any major arteries or bone or anything makes me incredibly fortunate and grateful that it wasn't worse than it was.
What are your feelings towards the police department now?
I'm very frustrated and have a lot of negative feelings, and I would definitely like some answers on how this occurred.
Yakalo finds the situation ironic. At age 10, he fled Ethiopia with his parents to escape violence. His dad got a job as a janitor at the University of Denver. Yakalo graduated from the same school with a full-ride scholarship. What's your feelings towards the police department now?
Angry. I have this anger and this unjust of feeling unsafe when I never thought I would be in this situation. You know, I felt like throughout my life I followed the rules, tried to be as a proper citizen as I can. And for this to happen, it just unbelievable.
Get out of the street!
Now they have an attorney who says police violated the law and their own policies.
All of a sudden, the police are shooting into the crowd. To me, that's dangerous and absurdly reckless.
There needs to be justice, some kind of answers as to why they did what they did.
Kakala will have to have surgery to remove the bullet. His arm will also need a plate so his shattered bone can regrow around it. Their attorney says police should release all the footage from that night and not just portions of still videos.
So let's take a live look outside. We're looking at the Flatirons on this Wednesday afternoon. We've got clouds out there, but never be fooled by clouds. Doesn't mean cool. Doesn't mean even really necessarily super pleasant, depending on what day this week, Danielle. We've always been hitting those triple digits. It's like, woo, it didn't feel like quite as bad earlier in the day to me. So I'm hoping it was 90s.
You glass half full, Kim.
I'm trying to be. It's hump day, you know.
She's always optimistic.
She is always. So it was a little cooler, I guess we can say that. We were in the mid 90s, but there's always a but. We're going back up as we look ahead toward the rest of the work week and even into the beginning of the weekend too. So temperatures will be close to record highs. Of course, today, another 90-degree day. Put one on our tab. We are looking at 31 days so far for the summer season, 17 here throughout the month of July. 93 right now out at DIA, little cooler with those clouds around Fort Collins and Greeley as temperatures are sitting in the mid to upper 80s, 99 in Ray. We're in the 70s up in the high country and then sizzling out to the western slope, Grand Junction, Cortez, Durango and 95. This is our vantage point from Cheeseman Park looking downtown Denver and beyond off to the west. You can see those darker skies. They look a bit ominous, but if they do push back in here to the metro area, I'd count on some gusty winds, a little light rain, perhaps some lightning, and then everything quickly moving out. It's just starting to roll in to the I-25 corridor. It looks like we have that flash flood warning in place until about 6:30 just to the north of I-70 up into the foothills. Otherwise, most of the showers staying further up into the foothills and into the high country. Far south central Colorado also kind of getting in on the action too. Most of it now shifting southeast of the I-25 corridor. That really is going to be the bullseye for seeing any kind of severe thunderstorms this afternoon. Again, most of the action should be here by about 7 o'clock, and then everything begins to clear out by 11 p.m. tonight. So the storms that we do see this evening will be brief, again, helping to cool us off, but we have some sizzling hot days to come. I am tracking weekend storms that will help to cool us off and hopefully an end to that 90-degree stretch. I'll have those details in about 10 minutes.
Today is a somber day for many people here in Colorado. On this day, 10 years ago, a man with a gun killed 12 people at the Century 16 Theater in Aurora. The memories remain, even though 10 years have passed. This year, like every year since the shooting, survivors, families, and friends, and others touched by that night gathered to remember.
We also come together because we realize that there's strength and power in being together in moments like this.
This is the midnight service hosted by the 720 Memorial Foundation. It honors the victims, the survivors, and the heroes who risked everything 10 years ago. Lisa Childress has attended these services for years. She lost her son, Staff Sergeant Jesse Childress.
Every year it's hard, but it's also comforting when he played Hallelujah. That struck my heart, because it's a beautiful song, and I love music.
More events are planned this weekend. They begin on Saturday morning at 9 with the Heroes Run 5K. At 1:45, the formal reflection ceremony will begin. A community event will begin at 3 with resources dedicated to healing trauma, live music, and other activities. Finally, at 7:20, a presentation called Metamorphosis will happen in the Memorial Garden. Our look back on the Aurora Theater shooting will continue. In about 5 minutes, you'll hear from Tom and Karen Teves and the push for change they called for after their son's death, a push that's been working.
The school superintendent in Uvalde, Texas, says it's time to fire the district's police chief. He's the man who oversaw the response to the shooting at Robb Elementary School. Pete Arredondo has been on administrative leave since last month. He was one of nearly 400 officers to respond to the shooting in late May. They arrived within minutes but allowed the gunman to remain inside for 77 minutes. before they eventually entered and killed him. By that time, 19 children and 2 teachers were dead. The Uvalde School Board will meet Saturday to discuss Arredondo's fate.